I mean, Parliament is asking systemic issues beyond this particular scandal at Steinhoff. It raises the question, do we need further regulation, stronger regulation? What's our status here?
Yeah, it's an important question to us. Essentially, as we enter a recession, of course, we want to attract investors as well. So what kind of protection are we offering them as a country? And really, what kind of laws do we have in place to protect them? I want to take a look at the Doing Business survey for 2018. This is a report to us which is issued by the World Bank, and basically it ranks countries in terms of the ease of doing business, the kinds of protections that are offered to them, the kinds of regulations that are in place in terms of setting up a business, for example. At the top of the pile is New Zealand on 86.5. And what we're going to show you here are essentially the top 6 countries, and just give you some reference, some base measurement, and then compare South Africa very quickly. So New Zealand, Singapore, Denmark, South Korea, and Hong Kong making up the top 5. The USA finishes 6th, interestingly enough, with a score of just under 83, and South Africa averaging around about 65. That places us 82nd in the world. The survey featured 190 countries, so we are in the top 50, but still some way to go. So ranked 82nd in the world for this year. Let's very quickly, Tulis, take a look at that measurement, which we've got right there, investor protection. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. We actually do quite well in this respect. We're ranked 24th in the world when it comes to investor protection. In other words, the rights that you have, Tulis, as an investor, as a shareholder, and the World Bank also giving us scores on certain key indicators. So disclosure, what does a corporation actually tell its shareholders? What is it forced to tell them in its financial results, and so on? A score of 8 out of 10 for that one. Director liability, so the board of directors, can they be held accountable for what they do? Again, a score of 8 out of 10. Shareholder rights. If we have a share in a company, we do have certain rights. We are empowered to a certain extent. But this one, possibly an area of concern to us. Corporate transparency. South Africa scoring just 4 out of 10. Compare that to New Zealand, for instance, and that country got a score of 7 out of 10. So perhaps something to look at as Parliament holds these hearings and tries to chart a way forward for South Africa dealing with corporates.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Interesting statistics there, Michael, that sort of give you a glimpse into the environment in which people invest their monies and do business in South Africa, and what kind of protections or lack thereof they face while doing business here.
Absolutely, and the key question, I think, Tulis, is could the law have done something to prevent this crisis in the first place? We are seeing accountability in the sense that Markus Jooste is now in Parliament. He's having to answer the questions of MPs, but could our regulations have done something perhaps to prevent this?
Answer some questions, not all the questions.
Indeed.
Michael